wanted to finish Def-5 always. It's just the way it started off. We started off with this great sound, this great kind of originality, a way of inspiring music to a new direction of the future of Defstoner music, and to us that was a huge step, and yet so tragic. So crazy how the album actually went down for a few years, 6 years in the making. We were able to pull all this together. It's been a great success. It's just been great working on this album, finishing it up, reliving back then in those days, finishing this great project into a whole reboosted and rebooted world. It's just been fabulous. Well, 2017 was a year very tragic for me, for us at Defstoner Network. We're dealing with a lot of personal things. This was one of the biggest strengths that I had, that I carried with me, that I had that time. My life threw me back where I just stopped making this record 6 years ago. It was fabulous, good work. It was great work. It was very creative. There was a lot of ideas happening, a lot of a lot of new sounds and new emotions. Times life just catch you a little bit, you know. They catch you on things, and it's just hard to accomplish what you like doing, what you're enjoying doing. A lot of our songs weren't really going anywhere. We're losing a lot of subscribers. We're losing a lot of views. Defstoner music was already kind of going down. It was only best bet to try something else at the time. As you probably hear, the songs itself back then, they were so dark. They were so dark that they would simply just turn into this divine inspiration, you know, of wanting the record to be done. The roller coaster of feelings, but towards more the trashiest way possible, like a beautiful trash. I was really devastated at that time, and one of the best things was that I created back then was just trying to create a sequel for Def-5, which was a pretty good hit. It symbolized the new Defstoner music entertainment world, and it happened. The songs at that time when I was creating in 2017, they were starting to sound like exactly how I wanted. I wanted this certain song to sound like this, and I was actually able to bring in that formula to it at that time. Not so much with Def-3, for example, but Def-5 definitely showed me new grounds, new steps, new obstacles that I could, you know, go ahead. I began to look for tracks, and I found the greatest artists drumming backing tracks of drummers. They were fabulous. I picked out the best. I had to creatively enhance my art improvement, art skills. Def-3 was a big hit, and not Def-4 so much. As we already know, it's a different album, it's all dubstep, we already been there. It's more of an international thing. Like, this album would make more, it actually made more success even in South America than it did here in the United States at all. It was really good to see Def-5 rising once again. Amazing. Def-5 definitely brought an influence to the table. Def-5 showed more of a sort of an influence actually. And Def-3 also had that side, which is really amazing how we were able to keep that style going, the same old fashion of Defstoner music. Just like, as you know, Defstoner is deftones, stoner is stoner. So a stoner that listens to deftones. There wasn't any more shows back then, from what I remember. Life was just different. Back then I was starting off with Defstoner World. That was just the very first season. Starting off in the very first season. Defstoner World was doing really well at that time. We approached a really huge crowd, I'd say, of a lot of views on Defstoner World YouTube itself, and Facebook. We reached out to actually Case. So at that time I just stuck around Defstoner World to try to grow the channel a little bit, to communicate with a new crowd and have new grounds. It was definitely a new and a different approach to a type of crowd. Defstoner Network as well. As always, the same family. The new Cover the Wall idea was actually created last year in 2022. Just before Halloween last year, started vibing up again well. We started playing live shows, I started playing live music again. The current events back then weren't so well either. They started getting dark, but it was like this time I just didn't want to let that happen. Going back to music was the best thing that I've done. And it cleared my mind, it took care of my emotions. So I had to put Defstoner World once again on hold. We started not to do so great on season 2. It was really bad lack of views. Subscribers are not really reaching so high. The channel, is it over? No, it's not. It's just sort of, we're getting away from that side a little bit onto some things that just need to be done. Here in 2022, I was doing a lot of Cover the Walls performances. We do have a lot of videos, and then towards the end of the year 2022 started once again playing my original music. That's how Defstoner World is still on hold for the past 2-3 years. 2.5, this season 2.5 that claims to be coming out. Is it gonna come out? Is it gonna happen? Is it not? I don't know, who knows? I just felt like I wasn't ready to return. Music was definitely starting to rise again on Defstoner Network. I started playing new Cover the Wall music, new cover songs, new way of performances, new shows, new sound effects, lots of improvements for sure. Lots of improvements ever since the last time we used to play back in 2015, 2016. Brought with that a lot of new original music into our show. Just like I said, I felt like music was once again ready to be lit into the crowd. Thank you very fucking much. The enthusiasm was down to negative. In other words, there was just no more ideas, no motivation. I was kind of down to, because I've always carried that saying, you want something done, you gotta do it yourself. So I did. Back then it was coming out really well. It was coming out well. The music was very well distributed and created, collaborated. I just didn't quite know where I was going with it. Like, I didn't know what I was doing. Didn't know where it was gonna end up. Lyrics were very horrible. As you can probably tell, I struggled a lot writing that record. I remember my final move was recording the hidden track on the album called Tomorrow. I was kind of like really bored recording that track. I was just before the premiere, like we didn't know if we're gonna end up releasing that track or not. We kept listening to the track on the studio and that track was just so boring. So don't be surprised if you don't hear that song in shows or if you don't hear that song at all, pretty much. It's not Defstoner production favorite kind of music, but really it started off like in a very high peak as just those weeks were that I was recording, playing the demos, writing lyrics. It was just going downhill, and I was looking so much so forward to start playing those songs live. They sound amazing. So I recorded Tomorrow, the hidden track. Back then, it is to rest. Let's be done. There's not much we can do about it. There's not much here at all. You know, the studio was completely dead. It was like, boom, we just dropped a big bomb in the studio. We're quit. We don't have an actual record CD date yet. To be honest, it was supposed to be August 17th, but obviously it didn't happen. We're just having a little bit of production problems at the moment, but it is yet to be solved. You can hold on to the actual CD. Things seem to be moving a bit slow at that side. message in the album is about life and death. Def-5 is definitely about the space in between life and death. It's a happy continuance, it's a happy dark continuance from Def-3. As you know, since Def-4 was taken as the album titled Relieve It, we didn't really actually have a Def-4. But I don't know if someday there might be one or not. I don't think so, to be honest. I think we're just gonna go up the stairs as we go, you know. For now, Def-4, that's not possible, no. The record itself breaks into phases. The continuous picks up from the last song that's called The Evolution. Actually, towards evolution on Def-3 album carries on to Def-5. Basically, what we're doing here, we're skipping Def-4, Relieve It. We are jumping straight on to Def-5. The first track on the album is The Evolution, which is basically Boyz Evolution, but with lyrics added on to start, you know, to just carry on the old culture, just to fit in as like a sequel, you know, kind of like a sequel. The album starts very rookie-ish, like bar-like, just walk in the bar and just listen to those kind of tunes. Soundgarden, Pearl Jam, they're just influences, but we try to bring it to a different style. Like, we try to keep the same style, but like we want to like diverse it. And then the album changes a little bit into a dark side. There's some zombie pictures and horror stuff there. A little bit of a little bit of aggression, taste. You know, it is a moody album. Like I said, start off with like this really cool rookie bar-like way, and then it just like, you know, you have good moments, very roller coaster-like, very bipolar album. It goes into like this really dark place. After, you know, once you leave the dark place in the album, you're already ready to reach a new legend. It's a new beginning. It's like a new generation of music. To the track Broken Trusted, for example, you have Bad Boys. Bad Boys was recorded in 2017, but the lyrics came up in 2023. Bad Boys carry on into a new beginning, just actually preparing before to Tsunami, which is the next song after that, which is supposed to carry on into the new legacy, a new Defstoner legend legacy. That is very important to keep up with those songs. It's very important to keep up with Tsunami, To Ever Be Me, and Bad Boys. You know, those songs towards the end are very important. That has a bit to do with Def-6. It was just like raising a lost kid to become that warrior. It became an excellent album. It was built, it was created, elaborated. 6 years in the making, just trying to make sure that won't happen again. I needed to learn from it a little bit too. Worked on cover walls shows in 2022 while trying to organize Def-5 into a whole full album, rebooted. I did play the Def-5 songs on the live shows back then. We had a few private parties where Def-5 songs were played. If I recall, Halloween last year also we did play a couple songs. Still trying to, we did as much as possible to try and revive this album and still keep the same style without anything go wrong. And I remember rehearsing them a lot too. Like I would really play the songs over and over and over again. When we had planned out that Def-5 had become Def-5 Destiny, the album, a self-titled record, but I didn't really start actually rebooting the vocals until like May 2023, earlier this year. It's just simply why it took so long for Def-5 Destiny, the album, to be done and released. Song has to be Tsunami, just like I was talking about it. I think that's definitely my favorite. I do like a lot of the other songs. I like the new songs a lot, and just as well as I like the old songs. I'm a very big fan of Defstoner. Sometimes it makes me feel good that I'm still my own fan, because I know that somebody's watching me. Some of them, I found them very dark. I already been through the phase of very dark songs. Obviously, the very, very dark songs were from ages ago, where, I was still in that crazy wild world, and, things are a little bit different nowadays. There's a lot more technical support, a lot of more enthusiasm in the Defstoner universe. It was nice, it was very well done, it's creative, and wow, 6 years in the making. It was amazing working with these great drummers. They're definitely very skilled, talented artists. It was definitely reliving Def-5 among other albums. Def-3, like we mutated this into when we began. Destiny self-titled, of course, that's also one of my favorites. It's very symbolical to the Defstoner world, to the Defstoner universe. It's a song that has a lot to do with the future of what's coming up, shows that we're going to be playing. The new outfit for Defstoner world, basically. The new things, new fever, the new keyword, and it is what it is, a great season. I also love the song Spider, which has been worked with a collab before, but Tsunami is definitely my top favorite. It just washes away like all the bullshit. It washes off everything that we had of bad in Defstoner Network, Defstoner World. into a whole new clean, divine world, a whole new ready to rock music and purify things into a new beginning. is the death, and I'd say destiny is the life. Destiny is the future and what to come. Like I said, the album does goes through a lot of changes. Def-5 was just the depression, it was like the punishment, it was just life upside down in a very, very bad term. The crazy adrenaline and inspirations that we were able to bring it together. Destiny is what tied together, you know, tied all those things together and brought us back. And like, for example, both records have the microphone charity donation track. The track pretty much like breaks the album into like a new age, like a new spirit, new rebuilt, new reinforced Defstoner music entertainment. Like there's no coming back from that. You know, I wasn't gonna throw that in a record, but I don't know. Like, I don't know how that happened, actually. I thought I was recording a song. I, sure enough, thought that the music was on, but it wasn't. But it was inside my ear, but I kept recording only the microphone. I thought it was like the funniest thing because I tried doing it again, and that's exactly how I tried recording over the song that I had sung, and that's exactly how microphone donation charity happened. We're currently working on new tour dates at the moment for the next season. There's 4 local season coming up. We're very excited about that. Halloween season right after. It's just gonna be announced, I guess, maybe a little bit ahead of time, because we don't really have a lot of plans ahead of time. Like, you know, we can't really schedule a lot of things at once, trying to take step by step. It's yet to be announced, so stay tuned. This has been absolutely, by far, the most cool experience, one of the most coolest projects that I ever done in my life. You know, it could have been better, but it could have been worse too. Has been the farthest, the most best Defstoner network season that we just accomplished. Now in the middle of the year, Father's Day until Cover Wall, July 17th, I think it was. It was just an amazing tour. This past season has just been great. Amazing crowd came together. I got to play my first song in front of a very big crowd, and I'm very happy, very proud, very thankful for you guys to be tuned in, be enjoying the music, and just shows were great, and fit crowd. Everyone seems to be enjoying it. Everyone's been amazing and very supportive, you know, with the Defstoner universe, from Facebook to YouTube, from live shows to personal live shows, from private events to backyard events, from backyard events to bar events, from bar events to stadium. No, I'm joking, I never played in a stadium. It's just that the Defstoner universe definitely seems to be expanding as the year goes by. By now, pretty soon will be 1 year exactly where we just been back to music straight up, and it's been amazing. Probably the best music season there has been, for sure.
The right song is called If We Ever Been In. I can never be free. But you never realize that I can never realize. Never be brave. To never feel brave. I can never realize that I can never be alright.
You know, life sometimes just tends to hit a little bit hard. Sometimes it's just hard to keep things together. You know, very big props, big applause for you guys out there that, you know, got your stuff strong and big state of mind. Sometimes you need to let your emotions out in some sort of way. You need to feel a little bit different, you need to feel a little bit isolated or just aside, just so you can experience and observe the world and how it's gonna go. It just makes everything so unpredictable. Like Def-5 was just released. It took us 6 years. I never knew that album, honestly, that was gonna be done. I actually didn't think the Defstoner was gonna go no longer farther. 6 years in the making, 2017 project, well, there it is. We also have music videos coming up and a lot of music videos, a lot of projects that we just don't release. Like these projects just keep on being made and just thrown inside YouTube and not being released to the public. There is a lot of footage, you know, and we're just waiting for the right time, the right moment, the right type of crowd. You know, for everything you gotta get ready. You know what I'm saying? Lots of behind the scenes too as well. Lots of Defstoner world and network season content that just has not been out there. But little by little, you know, things are blooming. Now, where is Defstoner world? Where is Defstoner world? Where would it go? I don't know. That I can't tell you. You're gonna have to figure that one out yourself. Things are just always unpredictable in the Defstoner universe. You can never tell what's gonna happen tomorrow. But one thing for sure is that I can tell you is that Def 6 is already here.